Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. I was thinking about this message earlier and I just want to share it with you guys. God loves doing miracles. He loves to do miracles, okay? And it's almost like he waits until you're in this impossible situation before he shows up. Okay, some of you guys, you're waiting for God to move and you're waiting for him to act, and he's just waiting for your situation to get a little bit more dire. And you're like, well, that sounds terrible. Why would he do that? Maybe he's just using you to show the world that he still does miracles. And you're like, yeah, I don't want to be the one. I don't want to be the one to be used. But sometimes he chooses certain people so you can show the world that he still does miracles. I was thinking how come nobody grabbed Jesus when they realized the wine was running out? When they was nobody keeping track of the wine at the wedding? Okay, I would have been like, when I see we're down to 2 jars, I would have grabbed Jesus immediately. Like, okay, we're running out of wine. No. When did Jesus step in, whether he was ready or not, whether he wanted to or not, he stepped in after the wine ran out. Okay, it ran out. It wasn't running out, it ran out. Okay, you see where I'm trying to go? Maybe God is just waiting for you to run out of stuff. Run out of resources, run out of energy, run out of strength. He says it in his word. In your weakness, he's your strength, okay? Maybe he's waiting for you to run out so he could step in and do a miracle, okay? Look at the Israelites. They were in a very impossible situation, like the Red Sea, impossible situation, right? They needed a miracle, and a miracle happened that day, okay? And someone had put it in the comments of one of my videos, Saul to Paul. Saul was a Christ hater, and anyone associated to Christ, he hated them too, okay? He was a hater of Christians, and God converted him to a Christian. See, God likes, and I truly believe that God likes, he's like an extremist. He goes from one extreme to the other, okay? From the blind to sight, okay? From dead to risen, he's not from dead to barely up, dead to really risen, right? He is an extremist, and he loves doing miracles, and he loves impossible situations. Okay, some of you guys may be in a relationship where it's dying right now. It's just dying. And God is like, I'm going to just wait until it dies. I'm going to wait until that relationship goes to, I'm going to wait until it dies. Okay. And then he comes in and he just show up and show out. Okay. Look at Lazarus. Lazarus was dead. No, Lazarus was sick, okay? Lazarus was sick when they sent for Jesus. And he took his sweet time on purpose. On purpose. Why? He wanted to show the world that he's a God that still resurrects dead things. He resurrects dead things, okay? It was a greater miracle for God to raise Lazarus from the dead versus heal Lazarus, okay? Because people had already witnessed him heal a bunch of people, but they haven't witnessed in him raising things from the dead. Okay, so maybe God is waiting for some things to die in your life. And as I was thinking about this message, I was just thinking about Gideon. I love the story of Gideon. I just do. And from the beginning, the angel of the Lord told Gideon that he was going to be victorious over the Midianites. He would have victory over the Midianites. And I love that how from the beginning God told Gideon that, because God knew that what he tells us from the beginning versus what we're looking, versus the situation that we're in, sometimes don't look like it makes sense. Sometimes it don't make no sense. So I love how he likes to prophesy from the beginning. He told Gideon from the beginning. He told you, friend, from the beginning. What were the promises he's spoken to you? What were the prophecies he has given you? He gave you that from the beginning, because God understands that you're going to find yourself in a situation where the circumstance don't look like the promise. Like the circumstance don't look like the promise can't even come to fruition, because you're like, I don't see how, like, I don't, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? I don't see, it doesn't connect. It don't make no sense. But that's why God is like, I had already told you. I told you. Because Gideon had 10,000 men, okay? And he was already outnumbered. The Midianites' army was like thousands and thousands of men. So at 10,000, he was already outnumbered. And God reduced his army from 10,000 to 300. So just picture yourself being Gideon, being like, I know what you said. You said, I am going to be victorious. You said, I will have victory over the Midianites. How are you going to do this when my army is 300 and their army is tens and thousands of soldiers? How are you going to do it? And you might be in this place right now when you're like, I don't see how you're going to do this with what I have. I don't see how you go make it happen with what I'm looking at right now. Based on this circumstance, I don't see how you're going to do it. And God is like, well, go back to the promise. Go back to what I had told you. And that is where you rest in. You don't rest in the circumstance. You don't rest on where you're at right now. You rest in what was said. And that's it, okay? And did Gideon, did it happen? Was he victorious? He was very victorious with 300 men, okay? Because God likes impossible situation. He likes to do miracles. He likes when he does it, you can't take no credit for it. You can't take no credit. Your siblings can't take no credit. Your parents can't take no credit. Your boss can't take no credit. No one can take any credit. Your spouse can't take no credit. The only credit you can give is to God. That's why God likes to do miracles. He likes to get us to a place where it's impossible. He does. A lot of you guys may be at the stage where your wine is running out. It's running out. And God is like, I'm going to just wait until it runs out. And you're like, no, I would prefer you act when it's running out. And God is like, no, I'll wait until it runs out. So maybe that's what God is waiting for. Your wine to run out. So he can take a impossible situation and make it possible. Trust and believe that God is still in the miracle working business. He's still doing miracles. He's still the same God of the Bible, of the ancient days. He is. He is. All right, guys, continue to stand on his promises. Continue to rest in them. Trust and believe what he had said to you. And that is it. Trust that he is going to make it happen in his time. In his time. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. Take care.